project proponent. The people that are responsible for carrying out the Pilipinas, a symposium for voters education project, and have the legal rights to implement this are the Group 5 of Section Generosity under the Civic Welfare Training Program or the CWTS, along with their Nstp coordinator, Professor Filimon Pableo and Mr. Marlon Gumantason at the University of Southeastern Philippines. Group 5 of Section Generosity are made up of trainees of CWTS that are united to raise awareness and conduct symposium for voters' education. Moreover, the CWTS coordinators will serve as their guides and trainers in order to achieve the success for this project. In your screens, you will see the information about the Group 5 members of Section Generosity. To properly implement and manage the symposium, the special staffing includes the following. Subgroup 1, which will be led by Cindy Clary Polidon along with her members, Turing Therese and Quesado Glenny, will discuss the voting process with the people in the community. Now, Subgroup 2, which will be led by Keith Olangkaya, along with his co-speakers, Valderrama Princess Chara and Reyes Queen, will emphasize the need to identify the fake news, particularly in elections. Now, Subgroup 3 will be assigned to address the vote buying issues and to discuss the importance of voting responsibility will be assigned to the leader, Season Mark, with his members, Tubay Vatsina and Sab Yuben. Now, for the technical committee, which will aid the team to carrying out on its oversight responsibilities on a specific technical matters, will be assigned to Sabado John Carl.
So good morning everyone. So we are from the Group 5 and today we are going to present our project proposal in the recreational activity entitled Play the Game, Join the Fun, a recreational activity program for active lifestyle. And to start with this, so for our project proponents, so the individuals who are in charge in executing and have the legal right to conduct Play the Game, Join the Fun, a recreational activity program for active lifestyle are the Group 5 trainees of Section Generosity under the Civic Welfare Training Services, or what we called as the CWTS program, as well as their Nstp-Cwts coordinators, Prof. Filimon Pableo and Mr. Marlon Gumantason of the University of Southeastern Philippines. And the Section Generosity Group 5 trainees are a group of CWTS volunteers who have come together to conduct a recreational activity for the community. And in order for the project to succeed, so their CWTS coordinators will also serve as a guides and instructors. So the following are the proponents. So we have Quesado Glenny Lane, we have Ripolidon Cindy Claire, we have Reyes Queen, we have Sab Yuwen Mirafuentes, we have Sabado John Carl, Season Mark Christian B, Tuba Yvette, Turing Charis Alfiche, Olangkaya Kit Aurelio, and Valderrama Princess Chara.
Good morning to each and everyone, and to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. Mafia mapita saratan walang. I am Keith Aurelio Olangkaya and I am the group leader of Nstp-Cwts-Generosity Class Subgroup 5, and we will discuss to you and present to you two different project proposals that deals with two different topics or aspects. So one is for voters education and two is for recreational activities. So let us first know what are the definitions of these two aspects before we will proceed to the presentation of the project proposal. First, voters education. Voters education deals with the education for the voters in order for them to be prepared and to be knowledgeable and to be equipped in the upcoming elections. It is fundamental for a voter to know every aspect of the government, every role of the leader, and every role of the voter before they will shade someone in their ballots. Second is recreational activities. Recreational activities deals with the activities that helps promote self-growth, emotional growth, spiritual, and also physical well-being. So these two are to be discussed by my teammates and also me so that we can be able to produce a good project that to be implemented in the chosen barangay to be entered. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Manatili po tayo sa ating mga upuan at pakinggan po natin ang aking mga kasama habang pinipresenta po nila ang aming proyekto. Maraming salamat.
Good day everyone, I am Glenlyn A. Quesado. For our project duration, the date of implementation is on May 2 to 3, 2022. In this part, we specify our days to complete this project. And for our length of implementation, the said project will be implemented within 2 days, in which the first day will be for the conduct of the symposium and the second day for the forum. Within the first day, 7 hours will be allotted for the completion of the objectives, where 4 hours in the morning will be for the discussion about voting processes and fake news, while the remaining hours in the afternoon will be for the awareness of the existence of vote buying and such problem. For the second day, the same time allotment is observed. For the morning session, it will be allocated for the conduct of forum where participants can ask questions, clarifications, and even present their action to the speakers or facilitators. In the afternoon, further activities regarding voters' education will be done. Moreover, a ceremony of recognition to the participants will be conducted.
So these are the goals. The general purpose of the 2-day project entitled Pili Pinas, a symposium for voters' education, is the attainment of knowledge pertaining to one of the civic responsibilities of a citizen to vote. In line with this project aims to achieve the following objectives. Number 1, to educate citizens about voting processes. Number 2, to impart the importance of discerning fake news, especially those that are relevant to election. And the last one is to raise awareness about the need to vote responsibly by refuting vote buying.
So hello everybody, I am Nstp-Cwts-Generosity, and by now I will be discussing to you the project description of Pili Pinas. To start with, let's have a background of the project. This project aims to target voters' education. According to POLIUS 2018, voters' education is the provision of knowledge with regards election. Under this project, the discussion of the voting process, fake news, and vote buying, which are all pertaining to the areas covered by election, will be discussed. So the first one is the voting process. So, there are, oblivious citizens, especially those who are first-timers, who do not know how to vote. They do not know the step-by-step processes of the day of the election. So it's really important to address to that oblivion. Okay, so that is the target of the voting process, or the discussion of voting process. Second one is the fake news. So the proliferation of fake news is not just a problem in the Philippines, it's also a problem in other parts of the world. So according to SWS survey, majority of the Filipinos find fake news as a major issue. So we believe that there has to be, this should be addressed by teaching Filipinos or citizens as to how they're going to spot fake news. Okay, especially during election, because fake news could either put a political candidate in the limelight where he or she can be recognized as a righteous politician, or it could tarnish the reputation of a particular political candidate. And the third one is the vote buying. So we have here an article that was written by Tan 2022. It says, or it is entitled, Filipinos Start Taking the Money as Campaign Period Begins Amid a Pandemic. So vote buying is an issue that we want to address because it is tarnishing, or it is, a blasphemous act before our right to vote. So that is for the background of the project. So now I will be discussing the justification of the project. With the advent of election, it is only significant to once again exhort an urgent render of seminars and various activities regarding voters' education. This, in fact, should be a perpetual intervention to address the lack of knowledge and discernment of the citizens pertaining to one of their civic privileges and responsibilities, which is to vote. As election draws near, it brings with it various problems to be addressed. So the first one is the first objective that we want is to discuss or to educate citizens about the voting process. So this is very important, especially to the first timers, because they don't know how to vote, right? So here, if we are to educate them, if they already have the knowledge through the seminar, then the chances are there are less problems that will occur during the election period or during the election day, because the citizens are now educated as to how they are going to vote, as to the processes of voting. The second one is, of course, pertaining to fake news. It's very important because this will help the citizens to know the authentic information. They will know as to how they will identify an authentic information from a false information, from a fake one to a true and validated one. So it is very important because this is not just pertaining, it's very important, especially during this day that it's election, but it's more like of a lifelong application. So there is a need to help the citizens, because fake news, as what I've said earlier, is a major problem for the Filipinos. And the third one is, of course, the vote buying. So we wanted to raise an awareness about vote buying because, as I've said, it is a blasphemous act before every citizen's right to vote. So it's great to really bring or to raise awareness about that, because the citizens have the right to know that being able, or like giving money, politicians who are giving money or buying their vote is not righteous at all, and it's just portraying that the politician himself or herself, who are soon to be political leaders, are invalidating the Filipinos or the citizens' right. Do you get it? Because as I've said, one of the civic responsibility and right of a Filipino is to vote. And if that vote is to be bought by political candidates, and of course they are, devoiding our right to vote is now void because it's being bought by them. So there is this seminar will be a great avenue to reach out or to raise awareness about vote buying, so that this kind of issue will be addressed. And of course, the citizens will also be, will be enlightened as to what vote buying really means, beyond the money that is being given to them. So that would be all for the background and justification of the project. Now let's proceed to the next ones.
Another responsibility of citizen is voting. The law does not require citizens to vote, but voting is a very important part of any democracy. By voting, citizens are participating in the democratic process. Citizens vote for leaders to represent them and their ideas, and the leaders support the citizens' interest. The project raises the level of awareness of the electorate, especially the disadvantaged sectors, towards a responsible, democratic, and sustained participation in electoral governance processes. Specifically, this citizen voter education will really help acquaint the electorate with the basic concepts of democracy and the roles of elections in democracy and governance. Moreover, the project will stress the importance of one's vote, encouraging voters to participate in the whole electoral and governance processes and eventually affect informed political choices among citizen voters. This project will focus on the registered voters with the age of 18 years old and above. The project will revolve on the following concerns that contains the basic concepts for citizen voter education. Let us know the coverage by level. So we have 5 levels. Level 1 gives a note on the right of suffrage and a brief history of elections in the Philippines. Level 2 advances the concepts of elections and democracy and various mechanisms for people's participation in such setup. Level 3 discusses the government structure and electoral process and system and outlines the duties and responsibilities of both the public servants and the citizen voters to watch out for. A review of electoral procedures and processes is also done in this part, which aims to guide voters in the actual conduct of elections. The 4th level deals with the existing voter behavior and elections, the attitudes and decisions of the electorate and of political candidates, dynamics and mechanisms employed by stakeholders in the electoral and political processes. Finally, Level 5 shares a vision of ideal government, citizen voter and political leaders, and enumerates action points for the citizen voters before, during, and after elections. Thus, the proponents would like to present this project proposal entitled Pili Pinas, a symposium on voters' education. The proponents believe that it is now time to be embodied with the aspiration of being catalysts of a positive change. This positive change will lead to a future where every Filipinos deserve to experience.
Let's now have the methodology. For this is that the lecture, seminar, or symposium concept will be used for the conduct of this project. The residents of the chosen community will be educated about voting procedures, distinguishing fake news, particularly in elections, and they need to raise awareness about the need to vote responsibly by refuting vote buying. And from this is that we have come up to the following strategies that will be undertaken in order to achieve the objectives of the project. First is that we have here that the volunteer corps will invite a speaker or speakers who are knowledgeable about the areas to be discussed. With this, it is certain that substantial information will be imparted to the participants. Second one is that the integration of ICT through PowerPoint presentation with the use of projector will be observed for the betterment of the presentation of the visual aids during symposium. Next is that the participants will be given a flyer containing information about voters' education, the detailed budgetary requirements. So first in the list of our expenses is the transportation that would cost 250 pesos because we are affected by the transportation hike, food 300 pesos, and we also include here the necessities because we are still in a pandemic situation where health is a must. So necessities are the water, mask, and sanitizers for 200 pesos. And for the materials needed for this project, these are the tarpaulin or banner that would be 135 pesos. Instructional materials that would be 100 pesos. Instructional materials, these are the handouts, leaflets, or flyers that will be given to the voters. Next is the certificates. These are the certificates for recognition, and that would be 50 pesos. We also include the electronic devices that will be rental for the betterment of the symposium. That would be 250 pesos. And for the contingency, we have here 500 pesos. And the total of all the expenses is 1,685 pesos.
Objectives of the project. The general purpose of the two-day project is the engagement and participation of the youth in team building and recreational activities in barangay. Toward this end, the project has been proposed to achieve the following objectives. Number 1, to engage the youth in the importance of team building and recreational activities in barangay. Number 2, to develop a youth-friendly community for imparting good social relationships to the active participants. And lastly, number 3, to develop the significance of health awareness of the community people in barangay amidst the pandemic. The background of the project. Recreation, which includes non-obligatory activities, is defined as time spent replenishing energy and partaking in voluntary activities or activities done after compulsory duties and activities such as work. In most communities, the type of recreational and sporting activities people participate in are determined by age, gender, local context, and socio-economic status. For example, children in poor communities are likely to play games using natural materials such as sticks or stones or using discarded manufactured items like tires and rope. Leisure time is also likely to be based around cultural activities such as traditional dance, storytelling, religious festivals and events, and visiting entertainment groups. In Davao City, there are lots of recreational activities and team building activities that were engaged in different areas and other barangays. Because of the epidemic caused by COVID-19 virus, most of the people, especially the youth, are no longer engaged in different recreational and team building activities. We have observed that in all areas of the barangay, recreational activities are not that much prevalent or practiced due to the epidemic caused by COVID-19 virus. All the community people, especially the youth, has been grounded and locked up on their own houses and was greatly affected their physical lifestyle. Only few people in the community are engaged in recreational and team building activities. Most of them are just staying at home and was captivated by social media and other digital tools. In like manner, lack of physical exercise may give a very big issue or problem to the residents of the community or the barangay. This situation is very unhealthy and not good for the welfare and lifestyle of the community people. Our project is Play the Game, Join the Fun, a recreational activity program for active lifestyle. We created this project in order to make the youth be engaged in recreational and team building activities and for them to enhance and improve their physical lifestyle. Since the the cases of COVID-19 virus are slowly decreasing, it's important for the youth to participate in the recreational activities we had in our project by following the restrictions, protocols, and the rules of the community. Our project gives many advantages to the community people as well as to the community. It gives the youth a better level of confidence, good memory, emotional and mental stability, and etc. And especially, it also contributes a very big help in gaining and attaining active and healthy lifestyle. Justification of the project. For youth and the community people, engaging in different recreational and team building activities helps to improve their physical lifestyle and their quality of life. But most of the community people in the barangay are lack of physical exercise and are not mostly engaged in some recreational and team building activities due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They find it difficult to perform with these activities in this time of pandemic. In line with this, the proponent would like to raise an engagement regarding the participation of the community people and the youth to different recreational activities in the barangay by implementing and giving them opportunity to participate in the said activities and to help them become physically, mentally, and socially healthy. In this line, the community people will surely able to enhance their lifestyle and also promote positive attitude towards good exercise. In general, this project will surely help the barangay solve its main problem. The benefits of participation in recreational activities are for both the people and the community. This project was intended for several aspects. First is for the health promotion and disease prevention. Recreational activities are considered as enjoyable and effective way to improve health and well-being. They can relieve stress, increase fitness, and improve physical and mental health, and also prevent chronic diseases, especially in this time of pandemic. Second is for awareness raising and social inclusion. Recreational activities are considered as a powerful, low-cost means to foster a greater inclusion of the youth and other members of the barangay. And lastly is for the empowerment. This project can empower the members of the barangay, specifically the youth, by positively influencing their self-confidence and self-esteem. These aspects are viewed in this project as significant interventions in making the barangay as well as its members united physically and mentally healthy. The benefits derived from the project. The target active participants will benefit from the project in terms of the acquisition of know-how to build confidence and social relationship with each other, value leadership and develop teamwork and responsibilities, and also improves healthy and active lifestyle. The coverage. The project will be implemented and will be held at the barangay. This recreational activity project will cover 100 participants of the barangay, specifically the youth members who are able to actively participate in different team building and recreational activities.
Now, for the methodology of this project, we will be employing a community building method to achieve the objectives of this project. The 100 participants will be grouped into 10 teams and are tasked to play the 13 stations managed by the project proponents. To ensure the safety of the players and to prevent possible incidents, each team holds the freedom to choose which stations they should play first, meaning the teams will not play the stations in series. They can choose which station to finish as long as the goal is to finish the 13 stations. People in charge of each station will also record the time it takes for the team to complete the activities. And to pronounce the winning team, the trainees will add up all the time taken by each team. As a safety measure as well, before the game commences, the trainees will check the activity area and also the materials for the games to ensure the safety of the players and the trainees during the project implementation. Now let me explain to you the 13 activities to be played in this project. First activity would be the scavenger hunt. In this activity, it is all about finding the items from a given list. Second is the crab walk. In this game, the first person in the line starts to walk with their hands and feet and then follow a particular him will follow him, and the same process will go on until they reach the last person. The third activity would be the hula pass. This is an easy game that encourages teamwork and creative thinking. The whole team holds hands and tries to pass a hula hoop by stepping through it and passing it to the person next to him. The fourth game is the caterpillar races. The team will position similar to the image shown in your screens right now. Then as the whistle blows, teams must scoot along without letting go of the ankles of the person behind them, rushing forward and inching along like a caterpillar until they reach the finish line. The fifth game is called Balloon Snake Races. In this game, the teams will line up, blow up enough balloons to put one in between pairs of participants. So the balloons will be placed in between the belly and back of each participant. The time they took to complete the course will be recorded by the trainee. The sixth game is called Balloon Dash. In this game, two partners have to stand back to back each other and place a balloon between their shoulders, then put their hands on their hips. There will be no help coming from the members, and at the same time, they must make sure that the balloon must stay in place. The participants must race together as a team and reach the finish line. The seventh game is called Get Off the Island. In this game, the goal is to get each member to the other side without touching the floor. So they will be using random items they own or items that they see in the environment in order to get everyone to the other side of the island. Eighth game is called Dog, Fries, Chicken. It is a mental game giving each participant or each team to use their cognitive skills as it involves logic. The ninth game is called Spider Web. A web is built using large ball of strings and duct tape between two pillar posts or tree or any other solid fixed pole like object. Each team gets a point every time someone passes through a hole of weaved web without touching the screen. So that is how spider web should be played. The 10th game is the human knot. The participants will be asked to tangle each other while still holding hands, and the objective of this game is to untangle everyone without breaking the circle formation. 11th game is called Let Us Guess. So one person in each team is given a random object. When the turn comes, the person has to go up in the front and demonstrate the use of the object that was given to him or her without speaking. So I know you're all familiar with that game. The 12th game is called All Together. In this activity, it is a fun way to learn about coordination and unspoken trust that helps smooth functioning between each members of the team. Last game is called Who Am I? In this game, tags that describes each members will be placed on their back. They cannot see it, but the other members can see it. So for a set amount of time, let the group mingle and ask each person to guess what their label is, by what other members act towards them. So the groups who had various correct answer will have the faster time to be recorded. And on the second day of this project implementation, we will be having a morning session of Zumba before ending the program with appreciation and prizes given to the winning teams and other participants. Moving on to the budgetary requirements, to successfully conduct this game, we will be getting the funds for this project from the chosen barangay or solicitation from the chosen barangay and the students under the Group 5 of Generosity class. The allocation of the fund is for the trainees' food, transportation, equipment or materials for the game, and prizes for the winning teams. Listed on your screens right now is the detailed budgetary requirements of this project. The budget would be 200 pesos for the transportation, 390 pesos for the materials of the game, 200 pesos for the game prizes, 300 pesos for food, and 500 pesos for the contingency. A total of 1,590 pesos. So now let's move on to the detailed schedule of activities of this project. Now let's move on to our project duration. So our project duration will be on May 10, May 11, May 13, May 14, May 21, May 22, and May 23, 2022. As you may have noticed, the date stated here is not consecutive with the day because the dates of our project duration include the date for the community's preparation as well as our preparation as the facilitator for this project, which will be discussed in the following section. Now let's move on to the length of implementation. This is what I have been referring to in the last section. This will be a 7-day implementation. For the first 2 days, there will be around 17 to 18 hours of community needs assessment. 9 hours on the first day and another 9 hours on the second day. So, on this assessment, since our project proposal is all about recreation, where individuals could have some fun while refreshing their minds from the stress caused by these current events, if possible, our group representatives will go to the community, or if not, they will do it online and ask the group or community members what they see as the most important needs of that group or community in terms of emotional and physical well-being, especially now that the pandemic has happened. Do they still do relaxation and refreshing for their minds and bodies? And do they have other problems involving physical and mental health? So, the result of this survey then serve as a guide for future action. This way, we could make sure that any actions we eventually take or join in are in line with the mental and physical needs that are expressed by that community. Next is on the 3rd and 4th days. On the 3rd and 4th days, around 17 to 18 hours of planning of the recreational activities project proposal will be made that is based on the result of the community needs assessment. So generally, the needs that are rated as the most important ones are the ones that get addressed. Next is on the 5th day. On the 5th day, the activities for recreation will happen. There will be 9 hours of recreational activities for the community program, 5 hours in the morning for the preparation of the place and orientation, and another 4 hours in the afternoon for community building. Next is on the 6th day. On the 6th day, another 9 hours are reserved for the continuation of the project activities from the previous day. 5 hours in the morning for other games, so this could be the games that will be played individually or by pair, and Zumba, especially for our nanays and titas in the community, and another 4 hours in the afternoon for the closing program that includes the giving of awards. On the last day, which is the 7th day, cleaning the community from the last day's activities and evaluation of the activities will be done. On the evaluation part, this involves evaluating what progress has been made. Were the desired project objectives achieved? Do the project results justify the project inputs? Or is every team member satisfied with the result? If not, what could have been done better? So I think this will be the time to sum up the whole project and bring it to a constructive conclusion, because it is especially important for the success of future projects to identify mistakes and show how to avoid them. So that is all for this section. Thank you.
Good day, I am Queen Perez and my part is detailed schedule of activities. It is a summarization of the planned activities from the first to the last day of project implementation. This will be a huge help for the trainees to conduct activities continuously without any worries. In this table, it shows the detailed schedule of activities of our project proposal.